Alright, let me start off by saying this is a completely different video from anything I usually upload. I hesitated greatly. I'm hesitating greatly to film this and upload it. Yeah, I really am. And the reason why I'm hesitating so much to film this, first of all, and then to upload it, is because I like to keep my videos just, you know, kind of, I don't really know how to say it, but you know, just I don't like to be too serious in my videos, you know. Yeah, so this video is a little different. The reason why is because okay, sorry, it's a little hard to come on camera and, you know, kind of be serious, because it's not really, you know, it's not really something I want to do really, but then I do want to do it, and that's why I'm doing it, because of the fact that you know, I've had friends that have dealt with things like depression and like sadness, and you know, it's hard. Like, see, okay, first of all, I've had friends that are going through a lot, and it's sad to see someone you know, like, you're close to, or you care about, or you're friends with, or you're, you know, to see them in such a position to where they're sad for whatever reason it may be. So this video is for that one person that might be watching, that might be going through something where you feel bad, because as much as we don't really like to we like to kind of avoid the fact, because nobody wants to be sad, you know, nobody likes being sad. It's something that you don't really talk about that often. But there are people that they're alone, or they feel alone, or maybe they are alone, that aren't close to family, or, you know, may not have friends. And you know, it's when someone feels like that, you know, like they just don't know what to do. They feel lost, or they feel alone, or they feel like nobody cares. It's unfortunate. And what I usually like to tell when I have a friend, or when I know someone that might be dealing with something like that, something hard, is always just, no matter what happens, like, I always say this, I always tell anyone I know that's going through a hard, difficult time, just know that nothing lasts forever. And when I say that, the reason why I say that is because it's meant as a positive note, as a positive thing. So like, if you're in a state of mind where you feel negative either about yourself or life, or you feel like there's no hope, the thing is, your life can change. Your life can change like that. I mean, you can say someone that's feeling a certain way, someone that's feeling really down, really sad, going through something, you know, something really, really bad in their life, that can seem like it's lasting forever. But the thing is, something can last a day, a week, a month, a couple of months. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you need to, now this is gonna be something that obviously isn't gonna set right with everybody, you know, but whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm saying it for the person that might be feeling down, really sad, okay? If you feel like crying, if you need to let it out, and this is me being like, if we were like just sitting side by side, and you came up to me, and you said, hey, I'm going through this or that, you know, I'm kind of feeling like, you know, I'm not feeling good because of this or because of that, I feel like just so down, I'd say this, I'd say, if you need to cry, let it out. There's nothing wrong with crying. And anyone that tells you there's something wrong with crying, then, you know what, just close the door to them. Like, literally, okay? Seriously. If you don't want someone to see you cry, then all you have to do is just go into the restroom. Go somewhere where you're alone, like by yourself, okay? Either go into your room or go into your restroom and just let it out. Just let it out. Just let out all the tears. Whether it's like 30 seconds of tears, or you're literally like just sitting there bawling your eyes out for 5, 10, 15 minutes. Whatever amount of time it is, whatever, like, just do it. Because believe it or not, if you do that, if you let yourself, if you just let everything out like that, if you just let all the anger and frustration out, because sometimes anger can lead to you breaking down. If you keep it inside, if you hold it inside, just let it out. If you feel anger, and if you want to like you have some aggression held up and, you know, just contained, punch a pillow. There's no harm in that. You're not gonna hurt anyone or yourself. Give it a full fist to the pillow. Just do it. Let your anger out. Get your emotion out, whether it's anger or sadness. Punch a pillow if it's anger, or if it's sadness or heartbreak or anything like that. Go into your room, go into the restroom, lock the door so nobody knows, nobody sees you, nobody hears you. If that's what you want, you know, if you don't want anyone to see you, if you don't want anyone to witness that you're letting the emotion out, just do that. Go into the restroom and just let it all out. Let it all out. Because it doesn't matter if you cry or how many times you cry. Because you know what? As many times as it takes you to cry, do it. Let it happen. That's like literally your body trying to let the emotion out of what your mind or heart is feeling. And I'm not talking about relationships, because when I say heart, you might get that confused for like a breakup. That's not what I'm talking about. I mean, it could pertain to that, but I'm talking about any sadness. Like any sadness that you might feel. That includes breakups. Whether it's a breakup, sadness, anything. Let it out. Just let it out, because if you hold it in long term, that could end up hurting you more than you might actually think. This is just advice that I give to people when we might talk and they open up and they say, I'm feeling this way or I'm feeling that way because of this or that. Just let it out. You know, just let it out, because over time, all that built up frustration or sadness, it's just not good. Things will get better. Things will get better. As hard as this is or may sound to believe, if you're in that position, if you're in just a position where you feel like this sadness, this hurt is never gonna go away, it will. It just takes time. And that's the thing, I know that. Like, you don't wanna hear that. Like, that's something you don't wanna hear, that it can take time. It's just like I'm saying. I mean, I've known people that went through a very deep and dark time. You know, and times where they just felt like absolutely nothing. And that feeling, you know, if you say it, like, to certain people, that might not mean anything. But the thing that's really messed up is when you see someone, you know, walking in the street, or like when you see someone in the store, or, you know, at work or school or whatever it might be, you know, you don't really think about it. You don't know what they might be going through, you know? Like, you see that person at the store and you just think like, you know, no big deal, like whatever. But that person you see at the store, you never know. They could be feeling so broken inside. And that's just a sad thing. Pretty much, like, if you're feeling really down and really just sad, alone, if you're feeling depressed, just know that your life can change. Your life can change from one day to the next. Figuratively speaking, of course. But your life can change. Like 6 months from now, your life can be totally, completely different. Like, I know that sounds kind of like, yeah, right, sure. But no, I'm being serious. Like, your feeling, like how you feel inside, it can literally change. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds like, yeah, okay, sure, yeah. Like, because nothing has changed from 6 months ago, right? That's true. But just because something happened or didn't happen 6 months ago doesn't mean something else can't or won't happen 6 months from now. You get what I'm saying? The past doesn't dictate the future. The future, well, anything can happen in the future. That hopefully is the thing that can kind of keep someone like kind of afloat, you know, that can kind of keep someone uplifted. Like I said, if you feel a certain way, don't be afraid to let the emotion out. Don't be afraid. You don't have to tell anybody. Don't tell anybody if you don't want to. If you have someone to open up to and tell, then by all means. And another thing, if you have a friend and you feel like that friend might be going through something, lend a hand out. Offer a hand. Words don't cost a dime. You'd be surprised how far just listening to someone can help them. Like, really, you have a conversation, or like a heartfelt conversation, a deep heartfelt conversation with someone, and you'd be surprised. Like, you would be surprised what it can do, like how it can, like what kind of an effect, a good effect it can have on someone. Just for them to know that someone gives it. Sometimes that's all a person wants to know, is just to know or to feel like there's someone that, you know, cares, even if it's for 5 minutes, just to say, how are you? How you doing? Is everything okay? You know? If it's not you that's feeling that way, just lend an ear to a friend. Let them know that you care. And if it's you that's feeling that way, just know that there's always a tomorrow. There's always a next week. There's always a next month. There's always months from now. And your life can change. It can. I've known people that have gone through depression. You hear about stories where people have been like in depression, and then whether it's, like I said, whether it's a month later, 5 months later, 6 months, a year later, that same person can actually like end up turning around and saying, whatever amount of time ago I felt a certain way, I felt like nobody cared, nobody loved me, nobody this, nobody that. But I think the main thing is, don't be afraid of your emotion. Just don't. Let it out. Like I said, if you have someone to let it out to or with, then do it. Go for it. But if you have no one to let it out with, or if you don't like for people to see you let your emotion out, just lock yourself in your room, cry into your pillow, or go into the restroom, lock the door, let it out. Don't be afraid to let it out. Like, seriously, just let it out. You might feel a little bit better after that. I just want to say, sorry, I got tired of standing. But yeah, anyways, like I said, I was hesitant to film this and, you know, to upload it. Just because, like I said, just because of the fact that it's something that's more, you know, just more like, I don't really know how to say it, but I think you get it. It's really a video, really just to kind of more just, you know, maybe, I don't know, just, there might be someone going through something like that watching this. And if you are, just no matter how many times you let your emotion out, don't ever feel like it's wrong or bad. It's not. So this is like the first video I've made like this, but yeah, I've had friends call me literally crying, bawling their eyes out, saying that they don't know what to do. And you know, that's, you just talk to them and you just let them just, you know, let them let the emotion out. Just let the tears out, let them vent, let them talk about whatever it is that's bothering them. Sometimes that's all really someone needs, is just to know that someone's there. And if you have no one that's there and you're really alone, like I said, don't worry. Don't worry. Just let the emotion out as much as it needs to come out. Things can change. Your life can change. Your life can actually change dramatically for the better. So just keep that in mind. It can get better. So why would you cheat yourself out of that opportunity? Well, anyways, this was the first of like videos in this kind of, you know, like this. I don't know what really this is called, but yeah, kind of talking to you like, you know, like this. Anyways, do not be afraid to let the emotion out. Let it free, let it drain, and yeah, you might actually feel better after. Yeah, but anyways, tomorrow's back to normal. If you kind of like this, you know, kind of just me like, you know, kind of talking to you or something. I mean, I'm always talking to you, but yeah, let me know. All right, so I'm gonna go eat some dessert. Yeah, so I'll see you tomorrow then.